MK's script. Who's right? MK, wave again.
Hi, MK.
Hi.
So let's talk about MK's script.
So, MK, big Portal fan?
No, I don't play video games.
No? Oh, come on. It's a fun game. Actually, if you're a writer, you should play that game. It is brilliantly written.
I tried to play it one time and I got really, really confused. I don't play video games.
It does take a little bit. The puzzles can be quite challenging, but I would say like from a funny, well-written, humoristic storytelling in games, and games always lack good storytelling, that's a great one. So that's me nerding out. So let's move on to Lofty. Where do you want to start?
Shoot, baby. Give us your overall impressions.
I would say that your note on conflict is sort of bang on at this point, because you've got these two characters in the beginning, but you don't. There's not a lot of conflict, and there's no way to really bring. I'm trying to get their names. There's Dan and Brett. Brett doesn't really get involved in the story, which in some ways is the punchline. Like I get that that's the punchline. In the end, Dan goes on this big adventure, ends up in this weird null kind of void zone where all the lost stuff is gone, and then he comes back and his roommate doesn't really notice. So I guess it works as a short that way, but again, I think if you get larger, you want to know those characters, you want to see more conflict. But definitely, I think it's well put together. It's well written. Trying to open it yet again here. Here we go. I think that I like that when I read it, it was very clear to me what was going on through the description, which I find sometimes can get a little lost in the way people write. But everything reads off the page quite nicely. How's that, Andy?
That was really good, David.
I know. I'm pretty awesome.
You look pretty sexy now, sort of leaning back like that. Oh, we can't talk about sex.
We can't?
Nope. Who's that guy in the background, speaking of sex?
That's
Is he editing?
Yeah, he's editing, yeah.
Right on.
He's putting together some audition tapes for a show that we're working on.
Excellent. So, any questions, MK? Writer is in the room. Do you have any questions for David Watson?
Oh, goodness.
Don't be shy.
Did you like the Lost Things dimension?
Yes, I totally like it. You know what? I had on an animated series that I was developing for a while. I was trying to do a story with a Lost Things dimension, where only the things from the Lost Things dimension came back kind of to seek revenge on the people who had forgotten them. So yeah, it's a really kind of, it's a fun place to go. And I think that, I guess what made me think of what would you do on this script in a larger sense, the idea came to me because I was thinking, wow, there's lots of fun things you could do in that place. And this is a task to write a 3-page script, but I think that there's room there to really have a really cool adventure.
The funny thing is that I'm kind of slow when it comes to reading. I was never good at English, believe it or not. And I don't even read that well. So the Lost Things dimension here, it's in the friggin' slug line. I didn't even see that. I just saw dimension. And that's how people read.
Second, sorry.
Good, I'm going to pause.
No thanks. Andy, you want to talk? Sorry. No. That was my executive producer asking me if I want a coffee. That's pretty crazy.
So anyway, I think this Lost Things dimension can be written up too, because that is so funny. I didn't even notice that. Can you believe it? Asshole I am. But that's why we have you on Skype, David Watson, and not me.
I would like to see maybe, as you get into maybe a little bit more description of the Lost Things dimension. I guess for the sake of this, it's a bit of a void. Am I correct?
Yeah. It's like it's where like Lost Things. It's where they go. So they just get dropped there.
Yeah. I was what would be. And I think it works in a very kind of visual, especially in a short, but I think if you're going longer, I'm just talking about going longer in these things because ultimately that's the goal, is to write bigger pieces. But I would like to kind of see the world that is